Hey, it's your typical weekly recap. It's actually not typical. I don't do it every week, but that's fine. I'm gonna get chapati at the same time. I've been awake since 4 something this morning, and I got 3 hours of sleep. And I'll be honest with you, I had a little bit of an emotional breakdown last night. So we're operating on fumes. But I watched this episode in the library between my 2 classes, and I wrote notes so I wouldn't forget anything. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, how does it even start? Oh, okay, so I don't even remember how it starts. Okay, so they're gonna have a 2-on-1 date. Another one, they just had one not that long ago, and then a one-on-one date, and then a group date. And so the one-on-one date goes to I have to consult. This is why I took notes. I have no Luke. No, they don't have. I don't even know who. Honestly, she has. Oh, she has it with that guy. Oh, she has it with Wells. How could I forget? I like Wells. Okay, so first of all, let me address this. Is that I think it's Robbie. It's got to be Robbie because Robbie's I can't stand his shoes, and that will become a recurring topic. Robbie says I miss my girl, and it's oh, you've known her 2 minutes, you don't miss her, what are you doing? But when you're in Buenos Aires, I mean, you're just full of all that passion, you miss your object, your woman, your mujer. And so I just had to address that. Okay, so oh, and also while all the men are trouncing through Buenos Aires, it's great because they're we're gonna go to. Oh, we're looking around the city, Buenos Aires, yes, and then they immediately go to the hotel. That was their trip. They walked down the street from their van that took them from the airport to the hotel. That was them seeing Buenos Aires. So anyway, okay, the one-on-one date goes to Wells. And here's the thing. The card says besame mucho, something, whatever, Wells. And this is the most interesting part, I think, of the episode for me, in that everybody is shocked because Wells is the only person who has not kissed JoJo. And oh my god, what, we're a month into this. Wells has seen her 3 times. How has he not just shoved his tongue all the way down her throat to tickle her duodenum? I don't know. It's impossible. And all the guys are really, really strange about it. Not only is there this really strange, machismo kind of going on, oh, Wells must not be, a real kind of guy if he hasn't kissed her yet. But also, they're really oddly, dissecting it, and they all know that they've all made out with JoJo, and they're all dating her, and some of them are in various states, apparently, of in love with her. Robbie's I can't believe kissed JoJo, and I think, oh no, it's Jordan, who has the weirdest fucking relationship with her of all the men, let's be real. It was kind of I think it's Jordan, maybe it's Robbie, one of them is when JoJo comes to pick Wells up from the date and is saying hello to everybody, he's oh, you gonna finally kiss her? Ew, if I'm, dating the same person as, 10 people in the room, I don't think I want to talk in a fun way about how we've all made out with her, right? That's kind of weird. But actually, here's the weird thing. Oh, no, it was Luke who said it. Luke was the douche. He said, are you gonna kiss today? Ugh. So I just, this is one reason why I just don't understand men and testosterone. It's this really weird posturing shit that goes on. And I just really respect Wells, because as an awkward person myself, it's very rare that I go in for a kiss first, because I just kind of, I know this is my own thing, but I automatically assume it's not wanted. Even if the person basically tells me it is, I still, am not sure if they're just saying that out of pity, and if it was up to them, if they would actually do it. So it takes me a while to get to the point where I can kiss you. And so I appreciate that about Luke, is that maybe that's not his issue, but he's also very awkward, and, he doesn't feel the need to shove his tongue down someone's throat who he barely knows, and I appreciate that as well. I mean, I could really just go for a makeout session, but I need to know you a little bit first, which is the rub, right? Okay, so they go to this performance arts thing, and there's this really weird scene where a guy is slow motion running, then he speeds up, and then he gets shot, and I'm bad timing, thanks, ABC. But then JoJo and, what's his name? Wells, have to, perform it, and it's, this really weird thing where they're, doing performance art practice, and then they get in the water, and you know what happens in the water, don't you? Bodies get wet. They kiss for the first time. I don't know. I mean, it's not that passionate, and it's not that surprising, because Luke is hella awkward, and again, I totally get that. And I'm also really happy everybody's kiss, 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 kiss. Even JoJo's I was wondering when you were gonna do it, because God forbid she kiss him, right? No. That can't happen. But then afterwards they like debrief about it, and I'm just so grateful that I have never had to do that. I've never had to immediately after my first kiss with somebody had to then get on camera and like talk about it. Although this just be the last, well, not the last first kiss that I had, but because remember that one time I was in that weird awkward love triangle? The second to last first kiss I had immediately after it happened, I definitely debriefed with 3 of my friends via text. So maybe that's along the same lines, but I'm glad it hasn't happened on camera, because that would have been like a weird shit show of me losing my mind. This is a note that comes out of nowhere. I fucking hate that Jordan wears Converse. Like, ugh, who are you trying to fool? Jordan's so gross. But here's the cool, and I just, because they go back to the men talking about if Wells is gonna kiss her. It's like, get over, what? I don't know if is it a homophobic thing? Is it a weird macho thing? I don't know what it is. Why these men are so obsessed with Wells kissing her. It's weird posturing, but it's at the same time, it's like rooting him on. It's like they don't know what side to be on. It's like they want to like, yeah, go, 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 like be weird bros, but then it's like they also don't. They want him to fail. And fail he does. I actually like this because he and JoJo had, I think, an honest conversation about like what relationships are, you know, like that spark, and JoJo like really believes in like that instantaneous connection that builds and that you have romance forever if it's with the right person. And Wells is more along the lines of, no, I think it actually kind of fades like naturally, and so it's sort of like this parting of the ways and the way in which they view relationships, and so she like takes him down. And I think it was actually, and this is fucking what I hate about The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, is that I mock it so relentlessly. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate so much about it. But at the same time, there's these really random moments where maybe this just says something about, I don't know, how cliche I am, or I don't know, how easily influenced I am. But JoJo was crying when she sent Wells off because she really just likes this guy, and that's nice of her. She's crying about it, and she says, you know, that kiss changed everything for him, because he like was like, yeah, I love you. I mean, he didn't say he loved her, but he was like, you know, it was an affirming thing for him. And she was like, you know, it changed everything for him, and it changed everything for me, just not in the same way. And that like, it kind of hit me. Like, let's say that this burrito is a dagger, this chapati roll is a dagger, in my mouth is my gut. It hit me where it hurt. Because what do you know? It's like when something means so much to you, but unfortunately it's not the way that it means. It doesn't mean anything. Or not anything, but it doesn't mean the same thing to the other person. And that really sucks, right? Like, how could it feel like this to me and not to you? So that's something I've been grappling with for, I don't know, what time is it? How many millions of minutes? So that hit me where it hurt. But when she's walking back to like the hotel or wherever after the thing, you know, she actually goes back to that weird performance art thing by herself, only it's full this time with people. She's walking on cobblestones in high heels. Like, JoJo, you're gonna turn an ankle. Okay, so the group date, they go to like some street. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know where they are. I was barely paying attention at this point. And they play street soccer, of course. And fucking Robbie, I hate Robbie, and I think there's gonna be a good reason to next week. But Robbie's like playing soccer in his fucking like loafer slippers. Like, what a fucking douche. You know what? He wears those fucking shoes to the goddamn rose ceremony too, and the cocktail party. They are not good shoes. They do not go with your outfit, Robbie. No, they don't. And if you loved JoJo, you would put more effort into your shoes. So, James Taylor is really, really like not superficial. What's the word? He's insecure. I don't know how I got insecure from superficial, or vice versa. About his body. He's a chub, but he's not like a chub. He's like, you know, by normal standards, he's probably a catch. By Bachelor standards, he's a total schlub. He's like Kevin James or something. And he's worried that he's not the smartest, he's not the richest. But goddamn it, he has that guitar. Thank God he didn't fucking bring it today. And so, he's really insecure and shit. And here's the thing, okay, out of all these guys, I think, as much as a douche Luke was earlier about talking about Wells and if he was gonna kiss JoJo right in front of both of them, I think I would fuck him. I think I would. There's something maybe it's the leather jacket. I don't know. I'm only just exploring this recently with Luke. I think right now he's my favorite to win it, except for the little tiny Marine, just because I think that'd be so great, because he's so tiny. But I think right now he's kind of my favorite to win it. I feel like he's more genuine than Jordan, first of all, and his sexual chemistry with JoJo is off the chart. And I think that that's normally what wins, right? It's not necessarily about actual love; it's about lust, because they only know each other for like a month. So I think I would fuck Luke. I do. Okay, so then there's and she gives the group she gives the group date. She gives Luke the rose for the group date. Was that all they did? They did penalty shootouts, and James Taylor won, but I think it was a pity win. Okay, so there's 2-in-1 date, and here's the thing: it's against Derek and Chase. And honestly, who the fuck is Chase? Every time they show Chase, I have no fucking clue who he is. It's like, it's the first time I've seen him ever. Derek is like the poor man's Jim Halpert from The Office, poor man's John Krasinski. And the thing about the two of them is I'm not surprised that they would go on a 2-on-1 date together, because neither of them have any personality at all. They are easily the most boring people on the fucking planet. Honestly, you watch them, like, they're doing the tango, and Derek is like doing the fucking tango, and in his fucking goddamn voiceovers, he's like, we have so much passion, like, oh, I don't think anybody has a connection with JoJo like I have a connection with JoJo. And I'm like, you fucking kidding me? Anybody has a connection that's more passionate than your connection with JoJo. Chase doesn't move his mouth. He doesn't move his face. He doesn't move his body. He's just there. And so it's bizarre to me that, first of all, Derek is so fucking confident in his connection with her. Like, witness the confidence. But that, send them both home. How are you keeping them? They have no personality. What is she even getting from them? Derek... What was really shocking to me is that, honestly, though, if you're going to keep one of them, I honestly think you keep Derek, because Derek at least is giving you exactly what you want. JoJo says she requires a lot of verbal affection. Derek is giving her that. Chase can't at all. Chase actually reminds me of me. It's difficult for me to do that. It's a little bit of a vulnerable place. But all it takes is, like, Chase being like, I'll do better. And... is this all you have, hetero world? Is this all? I mean, they're both good looking, but like, not even in an interesting way, I like, they're like the two guys who have never seen a clitoris. They've never seen it. They've never touched it. They have never read about it. It is, for them, the female orgasm is elusive. Mostly just because what they do during sex is they lay there on the bed, and then the woman mounts after, like, foreplaying herself, pretty much, by, like, imagining what it was like with other people. And then they just do the work themselves. For both of them. Maybe they should be in a relationship. Maybe that should happen at Bachelor in Paradise. Okay, I'm gonna start a new video because I don't have much time with this one. So I'll come back to what happens on that group date.